Hey guys, so I did a really short video this morning and 2 people, maybe 3, said it was too short and they demanded more. So you have to thank those people for this. I think part of the reason why it was so short this morning is because I've had a lot of stuff on my mind about what I see in the community and people getting frustrated and having unrealistic expectations of the outcome of whatever small thing they're doing in their fitness or diet plans. It gets a little frustrating. So I want to talk a little bit today about fitness and nutrition and specifically for weight loss surgery patients, because that's where I'm coming from. These are probably not going to be the most popular ideas, but they're based on, my experiences and the research that I've done, and I do quite a bit. I mean, I watch a lot of fitness channels, and I read a lot of fitness journals, and, I think I've become, over the past year, I've become pretty good, pretty well informed. At least on what you're supposed to do. I'm still not able to do a lot of it, but it's something that I work at. So I want to touch on a few topics. Start with fitness. I have a list that's completely unorganized here, so you're going to see me looking down to it. A lot of people don't do any sort of fitness. Especially in sort of the first 6 months of their journey, they don't do any fitness. And I think the reason that is because they don't really need to. They see the weight coming off, and it's coming off at a very high rate. So they don't feel like, why do I have to do fitness? It doesn't. It's not like you're going to lose that much more if they spend time doing fitness during that period. So they just don't do it. But then they hit that 6 month plus, and they can't lose any more weight. And I'm sorry, but that's what happens. Because if you're not doing fitness, if you're not working your muscles consistently, like every other day at the least, you're going to lose a lot of muscle, and you're going to lose fitness, and you're going to lose strength. And then the only reason why you're able to lose weight in that first 6 months by doing just your regular activities is because you're lugging around an extra, 100, 200 pounds, and that's causing a higher calorie burn, just from doing normal stuff. But once you've lost, let's say, 60%, 80% of your excess weight, you can't rely on that to burn your calories. I mean, you just can't. You have to do fitness. And, for me, I think in the first few months, or the first 6 months, I mean, your goal should be, you don't have to do heavy strength training, but you have to work all the muscles that you have. And you have to do it consistently. You can focus on cardio if you want, treadmill, walking, whatever. I mean, that's what I did. It worked okay for me. I managed to keep things going and was able to hit the ground running, at 6 months when I went into the gym. But you need to do it, and you need to do it consistently so that you maintain and can build on that level of fitness. And a lot of people come up with a lot of excuses. They're like, I don't have time to go to the gym. And that's, I'm sorry, but half an hour a day, that's 2% of your day. 1 hour a day is 4% of your day. So if you don't think that you're worth your health and your success and the longevity of your weight loss period is worth 4% of your day, you need to readjust your priorities and find that time, make that time to do the fitness. because, you know, that's the way it goes. I mean, it's not that much of an investment when you think about it like that. You know, 2% to 4% of your day, so you don't watch a half hour of TV. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things too that you can do to make it quicker for yourself. I mean, if your balance and your joints and whatnot are in good shape still, I mean, when you do exercise, you can do compound exercises. You don't have to isolate certain muscle groups and do that. I mean, you can do lunges, squats, and burpees, and sit-ups, and push-ups, and planks, and all these kind of things that hit like a number of muscle groups at the same time. And that way you can sort of, you know, maximize the time that you do have. You can maximize the effect you get out of it. And also, there's things like, you know, some people are like, well, I have to get to the gym, and, you know, then I have to shower after, and da da da. Okay, well, pick the time that you go to the gym better. You don't need to shower before you go to the gym. You're going to get stinky and sweaty anyway, so you shower after the gym. So maybe in the morning, you know, like, don't start your day with a shower, start your day with the gym, and then have the shower directly after that. Or maybe you're a nighttime showering person, you know, stop on the way back from work and do your gym at that time, or do it right before bedtime, so that you don't have to double up your you know, the time you spend making yourself ready for the world, you know, showering and makeup and whatever it is that you do because you're going to the gym. You can multitask and just pick the time that you're doing your fitness to coincide, so you don't have to do it twice. You know, also some people are like, you know, I have to eat before. Okay, what? All you have to do when you're doing fitness, 2 hours before, you want to have a full balanced meal. That's all you need to do. So you'll have some energy, so your muscles and your system have stuff ready to go for when you do your fitness. And then, you know, within 30 minutes after, you have to have the same, you know, some kind of mix of protein and carbohydrates to sort of refuel your body. That's it. It's not hard to do. So, I mean, you package out some protein powder in a shaker. I mean, that's what I do in the morning, like while my breakfast is cooking or something. I'll just put a scoop or a scoop and a half in a shaker bottle. I grab a bunch of dates, and there I go. There's my post-workout snack. I mean, it's not a big time commitment. The other excuse that I hear a lot is I'm not able to do fitness, and you know, I'm speaking to myself, my previous self. Don't look at yourself as a victim. You are able to do fitness. You may not be able to do fitness in the way that you think fitness needs to be done. It may not be like way everyone else is doing it, but you can exercise your body in a variety of different ways. I mean, if it's just walking, then walk. There's so many things that you can do to just work your body that, you know, even if you can't stand up properly or whatever, well, there's chair exercises you can do, and there's always something to do. You just have to do it. The other thing I think a lot of people sort of use as an excuse for not doing fitness is that they don't see the results. Like, they'll go for 1 week, maybe they'll even work out 5 times a week, and then the following week they didn't lose any more weight, and they're like, oh, what's the point? And they just give up. And it's like, okay, well, it's true that you're burning calories when you're at the gym, and that contributes a little bit to your caloric deficit in the day, but you're not going to be losing like an extra pound a week, most likely, because you're going to the gym. The work you do at the gym, you don't see the next week. You don't see it the week after that. The work you do at the gym today, you see 2 or 3 months ahead of now, when you're able to do twice as much fitness, and when you're able to do twice as much intensity, and your muscles have grown and you've gained, 1 pound, 2 pounds of muscle, in that time period, that's when you're going to start to see the effect of what you're doing today. It's not just input. You can't just look at it as input output for what you do during that day. That's a short-term outlook, and it's not the reason to do fitness. Fitness is a long-term goal, and I know it's hard for us, especially people who are morbidly obese, to think of that way, because obviously we didn't get fat thinking about what's going to happen 2 months from now. We were just thinking about today and the emotions and situations that we were in that day, and we didn't care about what was going to happen in the future. Our minds just aren't geared to work that way because of our experiences. But that's really the way you have to look at it. It's a long-term thing. The benefits is something that you build on and you see in the future. That's the way it goes. So don't focus on the calories that you're burning in the activity. Sure, in the first 6 months, okay, you can look at it that way if you want, but after that, you really have to look at that long-term goal, because you've lost all that weight, and that calorie burn that you're getting is every pound that you lose for a given activity, you're burning less calories. That's just the way it works. So don't focus on the calorie burn. Focus on the fitness level. How fast can you run? How long can you walk? How much weight can you lift? How many repetitions can you do of lunges, squats, push-ups, sit-ups, all these things? Those are the things that you need to do and you need to build on. I see a lot of people in the community, and some of them, I'm not going to call any of them out, but they've been doing the same fitness activities at the same level for months and years, and they get frustrated because they haven't gotten any closer to their goals. And while it's great that they're doing that activity, if you're doing the same activity for more than 3 months at a time, you're stagnating. You're no longer building your fitness, you're maintaining your fitness. So if you're just maintaining your fitness, you shouldn't expect to lose weight. You shouldn't expect to progress in your goals by doing the same activity. It's just not logical to think that way. You have to do a greater intensity, you have to do a greater repetition, you have to do greater time if you want to keep up that momentum and continue to lose weight. The other thing that really drives me crazy is the people who weigh daily. There's so much going on in your body, guys. You eat pounds of food a day. You drink pounds of water a day. Small things like the type of food that you eat in a day, how much fat you got in the day, how much fiber you've gotten in the day. Your body has reservoirs of food, refuse, water, residue, everything. You can't, if you're only losing a pound a week and you're weighing every day, what the hell are you doing? Seriously, it is stupid. I know people are going to be upset because I said that, but it is a foolish thing to do because you cannot see the fluctuation, any real fluctuation on a daily basis. You can't. You're just going to be discouraging yourself. You're going to see it go up and down, and it's not going to make any sense with what you're doing, whether it's fitness or eating, whatever, and you're just going to throw your hands up and quit. I see this so many times, and it's just so foolish. So once a week at most, the first 2 months out of surgery, once every 2 weeks, because your body just had major surgery, and you're changing your food stages like crazy. Don't weigh more than once a week. Please. Please, please, please. The other thing I want to talk about is not just the calories that you eat. A lot of people, I see a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm only eating 1,000 calories, and, you know, I don't understand, well, I'm not losing weight, or maybe it's, I'm only eating 600 calories, and I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. Okay, but what are you eating? Not all food is equal. I mean, you have to eat the right, obviously you have to eat the right proportion of protein, carbohydrates, fat, and, you know, keep track of the salt that you're doing, and take in the right amount of fiber. That's like the first pass when you're looking at your nutrition. Beyond that, you have to look at what food you're eating. If you're eating processed food, if you're eating easily digestible food, it's not going to be the same benefit to you as if you're eating whole foods, whole grain foods, dense proteins. It's not going to be the same. It's not the same thing. Both in terms of the nutrition you get out of it, how many calories that actually means to you, and I'll talk about that. And also, you know, how full you're going to be from eating that food. There's a thing called the thermic effect of food, and that is when you consume food, the energy that your body requires or uses to digest and process that food. It varies depending on the food that is. If it's something like carbohydrates, whether it's vegetables or chips or whatever it is, you know, the amount that your body requires to burn, let's say, you know, a piece of bread. If it's white bread, maybe 5% of the calories that you take in get used in the digestion process. If it's whole wheat bread, 15% of what you're consuming is used up by your body in processing that food. Same thing with protein. Something like a protein shake or some other easily digestible thing like, I don't know, cottage cheese or something. Your body, obviously, something like protein, your body is going to burn, it's going to use up more of the calories that it takes in to process that food. Something like a shake, maybe 20% of those calories is going to be used up in the digestion process. But instead of a shake, if you have equivalent calories of something like a piece of steak, it might be 30 to 35% of those calories get used in the digestion process. So it's not just calories, guys. It's the food that you're eating. And the same thing for processed food. If you're going a hamburger from McDonald's, without the bun, whatever, and a hamburger you make at home, it's not the same thing. You know, some grilled chicken from Chick-fil-A and chicken that you make in your oven at home, it's not the same thing. It's not the same quality, for sure. If you're getting it at a fast food restaurant or any restaurant, it's the lowest quality, cheapest meat that they can get. You don't want that. You want the best quality meat that you can get. Okay, guys? So, even if it's the same calories, it's not the same thing. So, you really have to think about, you know, what you're eating. And I've been thinking about this to myself. You know, a couple weeks ago I talked about stuff like protein bars being junk food. And we sort of justify it because it's got some protein in it, we need protein and blah blah blah. But really, let's take something like a Nature's Valley, which is one of my favorite, you know, grocery store protein bars. You know, it's a lot of calories for this thing, and it tastes good, but really, the part that's good in it is just the nuts, or the nut butter, or the protein powder that's in that bar. The rest of it is junk that you don't need. So instead of having that protein bar, have a little bit of nuts. Okay? Your body is going to work harder to process those nuts, and you're going to get more nutrients per calorie out of those nuts than you would out of the bar. So that's why you have to really think about, and I've been thinking about this too, is what you're eating. It's not just the calories. It's not just the protein, carbohydrates. It's the kinds of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats that you're eating that make a difference. Let's see, what else? A lot of other things that people talk about is, I can't give up certain foods, I don't want to give up my my soda pop. I don't want to give up my popcorn. I don't want to give up my whatever food that really isn't nutritionally good for you. And, I understand that. People think it's, they want to live life and, be free and free to eat what they want, and that's fine. But, you change your thinking around. You don't have to give up your popcorn, okay? But you do have to have your protein first, and you need to have dense protein. So if you have your dense protein first, you don't have room for your popcorn anymore. Okay? So you're not giving up your popcorn first, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is eating your protein. I think that's the way to look at it. The same thing with a soda pop. Okay, well, I don't want to give up my soda pop. Well, or energy drinks, or all these other things that people drink that really have no nutritional value. Well, you don't have to give them up, but you do need to get your water in, and you don't need to get, it's not 64 ounces you need to get, you need to get 120 to 150 ounces a day if you're overweight. That 64 ounces is the bare minimum for hydration, so you don't end up in the hospital. For every, I think, 20 pounds of extra weight that you have to add another, 16 to 32 ounces of water on top of that, because your body needs water to process all that stuff and get it out of your system. The other one is hunger. It's like, I'm hungry all the time. And this is from my personal experience, you're not hungry all the time. If you're eating 3 meals a day and 2 snacks a day, you're not hungry. I'm sorry, but you're not. Okay? You might be thirsty, you might be having a mental, emotional need to eat, but you're not hungry. Okay? You may feel empty inside because the volume of food that you're in, but you're not hungry. Okay? I don't know what else to say with that. I mean, definitely some people, I'm talking specifically with the sleeve, you're not hungry. If you're RNY or lap band, I don't know. Maybe you are, because you've still got your stomach somewhere and it's not being satisfied. But if you're a vertical sleeve patient, you don't have your stomach anymore, you're not hungry. Okay? It's just an excuse. You're trying to justify it in your head that you need to eat, that you should eat, or whatever. But it's not hunger. It's your emotional need for food that is calling out to you, not your hunger. The other thing that really bothers me is my body just is hanging on to the weight. I'm at a set point. I'm still 50 pounds overweight, but I'm at a set point. I can't break through. I'm not eating enough, so I'm in starvation mode. All of that is complete bull, okay? You don't have a set point in your body where your body just likes to be if you have 20, 30, 50, 100 extra pounds of weight. You don't have a set point. You've reached a stop in your weight loss because your activity level balance with the food that you intake has balanced out, and that's why you're not losing any weight. So you need to do more, eat less. I mean, we hear this all the time, but people doesn't really register in their mind that that's an extreme effect when you're losing weight. If you lose 30% of your weight, you have to do not just 30% more, you have to do, you need to do like 50% more because you're less weight, and then the activity that you have to do, you know, doesn't give you as much return in calorie burn. So it's an extreme effect when you're losing weight, and at the same time you're probably eating a little bit more as you go through your journey. So you don't have set points, you're not in starvation mode. It's like people think like, well, 2 months ago I was eating the same thing and I was losing 2 pounds a week, and now I'm not losing anything. Well, yeah, but in the 2 months since then, you've lost 10, 20 pounds. So you need to keep shifting that balance, that calorie deficit, so that you lose weight. And there is no starvation mode, guys. It's complete bull. Unless your body fat percentage is under 10, or really more like under 4%, then you have a chance of entering starvation mode. Anything above that, you're not in starvation mode. You're literally covered with fuel for your body to burn. If you're not able to burn that, it's because you are not drinking enough water, or you're not working your body enough so that your body isn't able to get at it. It doesn't have the biological energy drive and the means to go and get that fuel. You're not starving. The other thing I hear a lot is people want to surprise their body. They think that they need to keep it guessing. You know, I need to have that cheat meal once a week so that my body doesn't know what's coming and it'll magically lose weight. Or, you know, I need to just do, I've been doing the same activity for a long time, and if I just, you know, don't exercise for a couple of weeks, then when I go back, my body will be surprised and I'll lose all kinds of weight. Your body is not a sentient thing, okay? It responds to what you make it do. You can't surprise your body. There's no magic involved with changing things that's going to make your body go, wee! And all of a sudden things are changed. I'm sorry, but it's just nonsense. Anyway, that's my little rant, and there might be some good information in there. If anyone wants to ask me any questions, because obviously I just kind of, kind of verbal diarrhea, kind of just spat that all out. But if anyone wants to contact me and talk about this, or if they need some help coming up with a fitness program, or they want to look over the kind of food that they're eating, or brainstorm with me the kind of foods that I should be eating, you know, I would appreciate that. I know Khalif has been doing this elimination diet, and that's really been getting me, I've been following that, and it's, even though I think it's a crazy thing to do, I see why he's doing it, but I think it's a crazy thing for most people to do. It's really making me think about the actual food that I'm eating, and you know, I need to come up with some kind of a plan, type of food that works for me. So I benefit from questions that I get too. So anyway, that's probably a bit long video, and you guys asked for it. So I will talk to you guys later this week. Bye.